Hi students, myself Dr. K. Shivaya, Department of Pharmacology, Shantiram College of Pharmacy, Nandyal. So our next antibiotics, polypeptides. You know, peptides, it is a peptide, it is a group of amino acids. Poly means more number. So these peptides act as antibiotics. These polypeptides we can obtain from organisms. So these are the polypeptide antibiotics, bacitracin, polymyxin E or colistin. Next one, polymyxin B. So simple description about these antibiotics. So bacitracin is a mixture. So it is obtained from Bacillus subtilis, isolated in 1945. And novobiocin. So it is also one polypeptide antibiotic. It is obtained from Streptomyces nevis. And these polymyxins we can obtain from Bacillus polymyxa and colistin polymyxin E. This obtained from Bacillus polymyxa variety colistinus. This is selected in 1951. So these polymyxins are simply cationic detergents. So they act as detergents. Come to the bacitracin mechanism of action. So these inhibit the bacterial cell wall synthesis. So how? Preventing the transport of peptidoglycan precursors. You know, the peptidoglycan precursors, especially N-acetylmuramic acid and N-acetylglucosamine, these are very, very essential for the synthesis of peptidoglycan of the bacterial cell wall. So it prevents the transport of these the precursors. So there is no formation of peptidoglycan. So followed by there is no cell wall. So these are bactericidal activity. It is a bactericidal to gram-positive bacteria, but exhibits little active on against gram-negative organisms. The most effective in gram-positive bacteria. So this is a diagrammatic representation how these bacitracin to prevent the transport of precursors for the synthesis of peptidoglycan. So this is a cell cytoplasm inside the cell. This is the inside the cell. This is cell membrane. This is a cell wall. So these N-acetyl glucosamine, N-acetyl, actually it is moved to here. It will transport to here, the cell wall. But these bacitracin, this bacitracin to inhibit the transport of N-acetyluramic acid to the for the peptidoglycan formation. When it is inhibited, the transport, so there is no formation of peptidoglycan, there is no cell wall formation. Then come to the pharmacokinetics. Bacitracin not absorbed orally, it is given parenterally, and also high toxicity, especially to the kidneys. It is used topically, that's why it is mainly used in topical skin and eye infections. Bacitracin mainly, it is used in skin and eye infections caused by gram positive bacteria and gram negative bacteria. So generally it is given with a combination of neomycin antibiotic. Next dose. So bacitracin 250 units plus, we can give to the already neomycin 5 mg plus sulfacetamide 60 mg gram powder. Skin and eye ointment in that is neosporin 400 units per gram polymyxin powder. So this is one Tujira. So when it is available in the market, bacitracin, so bacitracin zinc and polymyxin B sulfate ophthalmic ointment. So this is one of the ophthalmic ointment. So it contains 500 bacitracin units and polymyxin B sulfate equivalent to 10,000 polymyxin B units, mineral oil and wet petrol. Next, come to the polymyxins. So the antibacterial activity of the polymyxins is attributed to their strong binding to phospholipids cell membranes. So they mainly binding to the phospholipids in the cell membrane. You know, cell wall is different, cell membrane is different. Understandable. Cell wall is different, cell membrane is different. Cytoplasm attached to the cell membrane attached to the cytoplasm, the cell wall attached to the cell membrane. So first cytoplasm వస్తుంది, తర్వాత cell membrane వస్తుంది, తర్వాత just you see. So this is cytosol, this is cell membrane, this is cell wall. So here the polymyxins. So the polymyx is binding to the phospholipids. You know the cell membrane, it is made up of phosphobilipid layer. Already you studied it, phospholipid bilayer. So disturb their structure and alters the membrane permeability. When these polymyxins bind to the phospholipids of the cell membrane, then it will rupture. Then a cell integrity and the cell shape will be disturbances takes place. Then followed by automatically the cell will be ruptured. So that's why it is a bactericidal. So it is mildly act on the gram-negative bacteria, especially E. coli, Salmonella, and Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Come to the resistance. Bacitracin bacterial resistance to the polymyxin is rare. The resistance is very rare. The microorganisms getting the very rare to the resistance to the bacitracin and polymyxin. Resistance is common in pig and chicken isolated on Enterococcus species. So weight loss resistance they can also not in our human beings, but pig and chicken isolates we can observe. Interesting, bacitracin administered into pigs and chickens has been shown to reduce the transfer of resistance plasmids among the enteric E. coli. So novo biosyn, this one also one polypeptide antibody resistance has developed in many species of bacteria. That's why it is not used that much in society. Maximum they can use the bacitracin and polymyxin B and polymyxin E. Some indications for prevention of necrotic enteritis in broilers. So we can use it to improve broilers and layers ability to withstand here stress, to control the proliferative enteropathic grower and finisher pigs, to decrease the incidence and severity of clostridial enteritis. These are the clostridial enteritis, one of the disease called in piglets born to shows treated during pregnancy. So as a feed additives for pigs, poultry and ruminants, it is improves growth rate and feed conversion efficacy. So overall here what is the indications? So these bacitracin maximum we can use it the pigs and pigs wherever the ఎక్కడైతే పెంచుతున్నారో పిగ్స్ ని అక్కడ కానీ పౌల్ట్రీలో కానీ అండ్ ruminants లో యూజ్ చేయడం వలన we can increase their growth rate and their health. So this is the regarding bacitracin and the indications. Novobacin, it is included with other agents in the intramammary infusions for treating mastitis in dairy cattle. So especially for reducing the mastitis, so in the dairy cattle we can use the Novobacin, not in human beings. Polymyxins side effects. So they are nephrotoxic and neurotoxic. They cause intense pain upon injection. So their pain produces the upon injection. Polymyxin is a potent histamine releaser. You know what is the histamine role? It is to produce the allergic reactions. Already you studied anti-histamics and anti-asthmatic agents. You know what is the role of the histamine to produce the allergic reaction. It produces the inflammation. Okay, so these polymyxins enhance the release histamine so that hypersensitive reactions are produced by the polymyxins. It is depending upon the persons. So polymyxin B sulfate is used topically in combination with the other drugs in the treatment of skin, ear and eye infections. It can be given orally for oropharyngeal decontamination or the suppression of intestinal flora in patients with a high risk of endogenous infections. So especially in the intestinal any diseases, it is there a gram positive or gram negative organisms we can use. And cholesterol sulfate can be given orally for treating GIT infections. But polymyxin we can also we can give the oropharyngeal decontamination for the intestinal flora only. Cholesterol sulfate can be given orally for treating GIT infection. But bacitracin we can give the parenteral route. Bacitracin we can give the parenteral route. So this is the combination of neomycin and polymyxin B sulfate, dexamethasone and ophthalmic ointment. So tablet alcohol. This is the Falcon. This is the Falcon. Next, polymyxin E. So it's just similar to the polymyxin B. So colistin, simply we can call it as colistin. This we can name other name is polymyxin E. So colistin is a polymyxin antibody produced by the certain. Already we said that varieties of colistinous polymyxa varieties. Polymyxa varieties, one of these species is colistinous. So colistin is a mixture of cyclic polypeptide. Is a cyclic polypeptide. It contains colistin A and colistin B. Colistin A and colistin B. So it is అందుకే దీని ఏమంటారంటే polymyxin E, another name. That's all. Okay. So these colistin A and colistin B, when it is form the cyclic structure, that's why it is a cyclic polypeptide. So it is there are two forms: colistin sulfate and colistin methate sodium. So these are the two forms. Colistin sulfate is a cationic and this is anionic. So these are all mainly, I said in first slide, they act as detergents. They act as a detergents. So when these we can see. So colistin sulfate may be used to treat intestinal infections or to suppress the colonic flora, especially intestinal infections. These we can used. Next. So colistin sulfate is also used in topical creams, powders and otic solutions. And colistin A, polymyxin E1 and colistin B, polymyxin E2 can be purified individually to research and study their effects and proteinics and as a separate compounds. Whatever it is, these compounds we can purify this process. So these are the doses. So colomycin in that one. So 10 lakhs units is 80 mg colistin methate, polymyxin M 150 mg, colistin base is 360 mg, colistin methate are 4 lakhs 50,000, sorry, 45 lakhs units we can used. So colistin has been used in combination with the rifampicin. Colistin which we can use rifampicin. We say one of the drug used in tuberculosis also. So these there is also in vitro evidence of synergy for the colistin methate sodium used in combination with other anti-pseudomonal antibiotics. So they produce the very good antibiotic activity with other anti-pseudomonal antibiotics. So if it is used in anti-pseudomonal antibiotics, it is well used in a combination lo manam akkada kuda use cheyochu. So what is the mode of action? That's why I didn't explain that there. So cholesterol is polycationic and has both. So polycationic means it have the both hydrophilic and lipophilic moieties. So because of this, these polycationic regions interact with the bacterial outer membrane. So by displacing the bacterial counter the ions in the lipopolysaccharide. So these hydrophobic regions interact with the cytoplasmic membrane just like a detergent solubilizing membrane in aqueous membrane. These affect bactericidal. So they interact with the membrane phospholipids and the cell integrity will be changes and the cell will be break and like that it is produces the bactericidal activity. So this is a spectrum of activity. So susceptible especially these infection caused by Pseudomonas, Echerichia coli and Klebsiella and genera. The following represents minimum inhibitory concentration susceptible data for the few medically significant microorganisms. Minimum inhibitory concentration. So the amount of drug required to inhibit the amount of drug required for the 50 to inhibit the 50% population of these bacteria, that is called as minimum inhibitory concentration. So these HRA question is required 0.12 micrograms per ml to this much, and this is the dose. This is the minimum inhibitory concentration and spectrum, and which organism it will act. And resistance. Resistance to cholesterol is currently rare, but is described at present. There is no agreement about how to look for cholesterol resistance. So whatever it is, less sensitive and 8 times it is, and there are some studies is still going on, but resistance is very rare. So use of cholesterol to treat Acinetobacter baumannii and infections has with other antibiotics lead to the development of resistance bacteria strains. So these resistant strains have also been shown to develop resistance to antimicrobial compounds, including some other antibiotics also. It is helpful for the LL37 and lysozyme produced as a part of the human host immune system. So these are the these cholesterol act on the gram-negative activity, but exceptional inherited cholesterol resistance. These are getting the gram-negative bacteria, getting the resistance. Suppose Brucella and Brucellacifia and Advertius. These are all causing Helicobacter pylori and gram-negative cocci. So these are all getting the. So these are exceptional gram-negative bacteria. They are getting the resistance. So these are the adverse effects, mainly nephrotoxicity and neurotoxicity, already we discussed. And neuronephritis effects appear to be transcended and subside on discontinuation of therapy or reduction in dose. So maybe it is like that also, it is a possibility. If the overdose or discontinuous or subside also, we can get the adverse reactions. The main toxicity described aerosolized treatment in bronchospasm, which can be treated prevent with the use of a beta and beta 2 agonists such as salbutamol or following desensitization protocol. So these are the regarding. This is the one of. So sorry, this is actually okay. This is for the their. Promotion purpose they are given. Okay, next actinomycin D. This one also one of antibiotic, polypeptide antibiotic. This is obtained from Streptomyces species. So it is mainly used in gestational phosphatic neoplasia and Williams tumor, and especially it is used in actinomycin D in cancer. Already you stated in anti-cancer drugs. This is one of the polypeptide antibiotics. It is used in cancer. So sometimes it will be combined with the other drugs, chemotherapy regimens like the VAC regimen, vincristine and cyclophosphamide. So it is a combination. It is used in vincristine with cyclophosphamide. Especially these cancers, having sarcoma and rhabdomyosarcoma. So adverse effects of these actinomycetes: bone marrow suppression, fatigue, hair loss, mouth ulcer, and loss of appetite and diarrhea. So this is the dactinomycin, is 15 micrograms per kg IV available for 5 days. We can treat. So these are the uh, polypeptide antibiotics. So these are the questions regarding about topic polypeptide antibiotics. So what are polypeptide antibiotics? And what is meant by polypeptide? Also we have to write. And bacitracin mechanism of action, and bacitracin adverse effects and uses, and polymyxin B mechanism of action, and their adverse effects and uses, and polymyxin E mechanism of action, and their adverse effects and uses, and pharmacokinetics of polymyxins. So these are the regarding polypeptide antibiotics. Thank you.